The 805 Focus is brought to you in part by NonProfitKinect. NonProfitKinect provides superior leadership tools and resources so nonprofit leaders and board members can make valuable decisions to move their organization forward to a sustainable and vibrant future. More information on services online at nonprofitkinect.org.
Welcome to 805 Focus. I'm Dr. Cynder Sinclair with NonProfitKinect, and we will be bringing you the latest on your favorite nonprofits. So get ready to be inspired. Our special guest today is Ashley Jenkins, and Ashley is with the Ynez Valley Children's Museum. Welcome, Ashley.
Thank you, Cynder. I'm happy to be here.
Gosh, you folks are doing some exciting things over there in the Ynez Valley with that museum, and I can hardly wait to hear about it. So you're building a new museum, are you?
We are. You know, we're not even open yet, although we've had some activities and we're planning more just so we can engage with the community before we even open our doors. But yeah, last summer we did a series of 6 events just for free at the Ynez Valley Botanic Garden. I don't know if you've been up there, but it is beautiful. They do such a great job with their grounds, and they were so generous to open their space to us before we even had a site. So we're looking to replicate some of that this summer as well, and kind of provide a bridge for kids who don't have a lot of outdoor access, maybe live in apartments, you know, or have a lot of indoor learning stuff. So give them kind of a bridge of activities over the summer before they can get back to school and recess and all that other fun stuff. So
that's really smart. That keeps them engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and then we've got a site finally, which is just big news for us. So we've been partnering with the city of Buellton. So we'll be building in Buellton. They bought maybe 40 acres of property and have given us this beautiful little corner nook that nobody else wanted. So it was easy to get it.
Isn't that
we wanted
convenient?
all the outdoor space. Everyone else wanted, you know, kind of the buildings and the functional stuff. And I said, for what we want, the outside is functional. So we've got this beautiful hillside, about kind of an acre, at the corner of Riverview Park, right there. So it's just going to be beautiful when we're able to open.
So are you saying then that the museum itself is going to be an outside thing?
Yeah.
Not a building that people go inside. It's going to be an outside experience.
Such a good question. I forget sometimes that other people can't see it in their heads like I can. But yes, it's going to be an all outdoor experience. So the Ynez Valley Children's Museum will be all outdoors. We do have one section that are kind of these converted shipping containers that will have some activity zones, the messy stuff, you know, plugs so kids can play with hot glue guns and glue stuff together, nail things together, and all kinds of fun crafts. And then we'll have kind of a shaded area for picnics and a low sensory zone for kids, you know, that maybe are on the spectrum or have special needs or just kind of need to not be so stimulated. So we'll have some areas that are good places for them to play as well, reading nook for story time, that sort of thing. But really everything else is outdoors. That's like 10% of our footprint, and 90% of it is trees and hillsides with slides going down them, and a giant water feature that looks like a river with a storm gazebo. So you'll get to stand in the gazebo, and every 30 minutes or every hour, it will actually physically rain down on you with the sounds of thunder and the wind blowing. And then it'll flood our water source so the kids can learn all kinds of things about ecology and floodplains and what storms do. Yeah.
So how long have you folks been working on this?
Yeah, well, thanks for asking. We incorporated about a year ago. Well, in July of 2020, we became an official 501c3 nonprofit. But really, we've been working on this for 5 years. So it took a while to transition from passion project and, gosh, I have 3 kids, I want a children's museum here, to actually, you know, becoming an official nonprofit, building our team. We've got 22 volunteers right now from all different backgrounds, from architects to early childhood education people, and they're all helping to build this. So we're much more official now. We've been official for a year, but it's been a long time coming.
So I would imagine you're working on a capital campaign?
Absolutely. Yeah, so we are very much in need of not just the capital, although that would be great. You know, we'll happily accept $10 million and build the museum off the interest. That would be lovely. We're also looking for the in-kind donations of time and materials, so building materials, arts and crafts supplies, somebody to come in that has carpentry skills. We're going to put some fencing up, so donations of lumber, that sort of thing. And we're looking to partner with the local Elks Youth Recreation in the Valley, Rotary, and other groups.
Oh, that's great.
We're working with this delightful Boy Scout that's working on his
his Eagle Scout.
Thank you so much. He's working on his Eagle Scout project, and so we've been planning, maybe he could build this barn-themed playhouse for us. And there's lots of other organizations that we're partnering with to really come in and do some of the building. But what we're loving from the community is all the other things, the money to help buy the supplies themselves, the time, that people are contributing has been huge in helping us get off the ground.
So, a big need for volunteers.
Absolutely.
A big need for in-kind donations as well as financial donations. And so you folks are a 501c3 nonprofit, and so a person can go on your website and donate. Or figure out how to donate.
We've got a donate button right there on our website, so that part's the easy part. And then we'll be scheduling work days coming up. We just had our first one 2 weeks ago, where we just needed to take some nails out of a shed. There's a bunch of nails in the walls, and we're refitting it. And the Elliott and Poles Construction has been amazing in donating time and materials. And they said, look, don't have our guys do all the nails. You guys just do that little part. We'll do all the big important stuff. So I put out a call and asked a few friends. I homeschool my kids, and so I asked some homeschool friends, would you guys show up? And we had 15 people show up.
Wow.
All of the kids, one kid just got power tools for Christmas. And so he brought his own drill, and he had all his own tools, and he was working hard. We had
bless his
this
heart.
3-year-old sweet little girl sweeping, and her dad had a blower, and he let all the kids take turns blowing. I mean, we had this crew of 15 people and probably 9 kids, and they were doing the actual work. They're really carrying the stuff. Kids are so capable, and that's why we're setting up our space the way we are, with open-ended activities, open-ended play, unstructured, right? The kind of childhood that we think Laura Ingalls had back on the prairie, right? And it made them who they were. It strengthened their resiliency and strengthened just their creativity, right? That's what we want to offer to kids that, again, might not always have outdoor access. We want to be that place.
That is a beautiful vision. And that I can see will transfer to those kids.
Absolutely.
I like what you said, showing kids how capable they are.
Well, they already are capable, and there's so many times. So I'm a mom of 3 boys. I've got a 7, 5, and 3-year-old. And one of them right now is helping, right now as we speak, is using his tools to dismantle a grill, and then he's going to turn it into an outdoor cook station for his brothers, so they can make me pretend mud chocolate cupcakes. Right? Kids come capable, and it's not often they're able to have the space and the time and an appropriate setting to really go hog wild. So we're going to have a take apart station at the museum where it's just...
Oh gosh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we're going to have appliances and screwdrivers and wrenches. I'm about to go pick up in a couple weeks a box of just, I think they said it was 300 different size wrenches from another company down in San Diego that, it's here, use this. And kids will just be able to take things apart and see what makes them tick. And they don't even have to put it back together. No one's going to yell at them, and they won't get in trouble because it wasn't something that was needed at home. Right? Just that experience, the process of play is what kids need to really learn and grow and develop. So we're going to provide so many opportunities for that.
I think probably a lot of adults, parents, maybe they don't think their kids are that capable, or maybe they don't communicate that to them. So this is going to be a wonderful gift to those kids.
Absolutely. There are a lot of kids that don't have these opportunities that we think are very basic sometimes, and it's not universal. I used to work for Boys and Girls Club at Camp Whittier, which is across from Lake Kachuma. And I worked there for years and years, and what an incredible program, especially for meeting the needs of underserved populations. I mean, we would have kids that would show up to go camping for a week at our camp, and they would have nothing. They would have no sleeping bags. But the camp had that for them. We had donations and donors that would help fill in that gap. I'll never forget this one kid that came to camp, and we eat dinner, and it's getting dark, and we're walking down to the campfire to have this fun campfire with all the songs, and he looks up and goes, "What's that?" I was like, well, honey, those are stars. I mean, he didn't grow up in the middle of South Central LA. He grew up in Goleta.
Oh, gosh.
But that just wasn't part of his family culture.
Yeah, sure.
The stars existed. He didn't have access, really, and the camp provided access. So we're wanting to do the same sort of philosophy. It's not like kids don't know what sticks and mud and dirt are.
Yeah.
But maybe they don't have the parents that want them to be playing in it, or they don't have the time, or they don't have the space where they can do it at home. So we're going to have that space where we have a Tonka truck zone and a mud pit and a mud kitchen, and the kids can get dirty. And it's that appropriate setting for them to really go hog wild, but we'll have fences so you can't lose your kid. You can let your kid run as far as you want, and supervise them from a distance and really get into all the stuff. But it's a carefully curated space so you can be confident that they're not, if they destroy something, it's because we set it there to be destroyed.
Yeah.
And they can just explore and ignite their creativity by playing on their own.
That's wonderful. So, how far along are you in the process? Would you say you're almost ready to open? How would you describe that?
That's such a good question. I think no one will be surprised when I say our timeline got pushed back over the last 2 years.
Of course.
Right? There's been a lot going on in our society, in our community, and so something that's been delightful is working with the City of Buellton. The City of Council and the City Manager just couldn't be more of a dream to work with. They're so supportive. They're giving, space, funding, support. We're just starting to work with the planning department on what do we need to open safely, build a strong foundation, and so I'm really anticipating things going smoothly with them because I'm just confident they are the same caliber as everyone else we've been working with. So we're excited to start taking those steps. We just had a new volunteer join our team, Michael Holiday. He's a local architect.
Michael.
He has his fingers in a lot of pots, right?
He sure does.
He is a giving, generous person. So he's going to donate some of his time and help us partner with his team to really get the architectural plans set.
What a blessing that is.
What a blessing, I know. So we're getting lots of those in-kind donations. Again, Elliott Poles Construction, the City of Buellton, Buellton Parks and Rec, the San Ynez Botanic Garden, Michael Holiday joining our team. I mean, I just have this long list of people that are saying, oh, a children's museum here? We don't have to drive an hour to get to it? Absolutely. What do you need? As far as where we are in our process, though, we're kind of at the beginning. So we have a lot of the infrastructure done and a lot of the background work and our logo made and, our location secured, but we only broke ground in October. So this is pretty new. And even though it's going to be an outdoor museum, so we're not having to put up buildings from scratch, we have to put in some stuff. We'll have to put in bathrooms and fencing and then, our giant water feature and our fairy garden and our organic garden and our music, area that the kids will be able to play with. So we have a lot of our exhibits being workshopped right now, priced out. We're looking to start partnering with donors, like specific donors for specific exhibits.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And so our team is really, that kind of big team of volunteers I mentioned, is really working on what do we need to be able to present to say, oh, would you be interested in partnering with us on the specific exhibit, so that we can get those built. So we've got a couple things built, but we're more like building out the office, and we just got concrete poured for our picnic area, that sort of thing. And we're hoping to open next year. So we're thinking 2023. We'll be able to have at least phase 1 open, and we're building with the eye of longevity, right? We want to be a service to the community forever. And so we're going to open our top portion with the water feature, the fairy garden, the organic garden, the truck zone, the activities, the hot glue I talked about, the take apart station, mud kitchen. So we're going to open all that.
Mud kitchen.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be delightful. So we're going to open all that kind of the first year, and then the second year we'll develop the bottom part of our portion. We're kind of on 2 split levels. So the second year that we're open, we'll be developing all the slides and the tunnels and the walking pathway and more playhouses down kind of in our back 9. Yeah.
And so there'll be naming opportunities for donors.
Absolutely.
Let's work on
Yeah. We have our sponsorship tiers. We've got our donor packet that we just finished putting together. So we've got, shooting star donors and dreamer donors and partner donors. Yeah, we've got all that listed, and we absolutely are wanting people to come and partner with us in whatever way they can. And then our Donorship Wall, which we're also working on, everyone has a thank you for being our donor. Here's your name when you come into the museum. So one of our very creative volunteers said, what if it's a field of sunflowers and everybody's name is on a petal, and the shooting star donors will be on shooting stars, and the dreaming donors will be on clouds, and all of us will be on petals. And I just love the idea of a kid who empties out their piggy bank and gives us $4.38, right? Getting to then write their name on a petal and see it at their height, sweet. At kid height, every time they walk in and out. Yeah. So, yeah.
That is
definitely
great.
Donorship opportunities.
And you've had just so much support from all over the community.
It's been overwhelming in such a good way, right?
Yes.
This year has been overwhelming, but we're getting overwhelmed just in an amazing way. We called we did a fairy activity. So we got these little doors, and we had maybe 100 families come and decorate little fairy doors and make little gnome homes, natural materials and paint, and I wanted something a little blingier for the people who wanted blingy fairies. And so we called Ynez Beads in Solving and just said, hey, do you have any, the beads that kind of get, messed up and we can't use them? Do you have anything that you can give us, kind of your scraps? And she went, and she just gave us, hundreds of dollars worth of these beautiful, exquisite little, shaped like little flowers and horns and these things that when they were set out in trays at our activity, you could just see. These girls would walk up, and boys too.
Gosh.
We had one guy building for 2.5 hours, and he built this 3-story gnome home. He
was
maybe a 12-year-old kid, right? His mom was like, well, we're still here. But he was so ignited, and you just see these kids, and they come up and they look at the tray, and you can just see the wheels turning and the smiles on their faces as they're picking out these little treasures, Like there's this discovery, this excitement of discovery that comes with childhood, where we're kids, you can give them fancy dolls and things with buttons, or you can give them sticks and literally rocks. And the first thing they're going to do with both of those is pick them up, touch them, turn them upside down, sort them. Which one? Oh, this one's the prettiest. Here's a gift for you. Like that sense of discovery is something that we really want to protect and give space for at the museum, and people, again, like the bead shop in Solving has been able to contribute to that by sharing their treasures with us so we can share them with the community.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's been special.
That is really inspiring. So, all right. So I know we have a children's museum here in Santa Barbara. Do you think
the Moxie, it's wonderful.
Yeah. Do you think that most communities have a museum for children? But here's the other part of my question. How often do museums have outside experiences like you're describing?
Those are a lot of great questions. I think there's nothing I live in Buellton, there's nothing in my community, right? I have to drive an hour to get to most things. And there's something up in San Luis Obispo, there's something down here in Santa Barbara, there's a lot of options down in the LA, Pasadena area, but there's nothing really local. So that's why we're building in Buellton. We wanted a central location where Lompoc schools can come, Santa Maria schools can come, the whole valley can come, Santa Barbara can come. So we wanted something really central. And then another question is how often they have those outdoor spaces. Not often, because it's easy.
Well, I wouldn't think so.
Is to take a building and put a stage over there and a kitchen over here, and it's kind of easy to fill up rooms, and you don't have to really put, you have to put a lot of thought into it, but you don't have to put as much thought into, this is going to get rained on. Every time it rains, this is going to be in the sun. Every time, that longevity piece. So we're having to put a lot of extra effort in that. But on the other hand, we don't have to have a building, and the kids don't really need one. What they need is things to play, things to move, the ability and the power to arrange their environment in a way that works for them. So the kid who likes the trucks can arrange all the trucks and do what they want with them. And the kid that likes fairies will be able to sit in our little fairy tea house and arrange all the cups and all the things however they want to. That giving them that power and that autonomy is something that again, just gives them the freedom to be as awesome as they already are.
Oh gosh. And to learn how awesome they are.
Absolutely, and the Moxie is a phenomenal museum.
Oh, it
I
is.
spend a
Oh,
good
yes.
amount of time there with my kids.
It sure is.
And something I've noticed is there's a lot of these cool science-built things that I'm into as a parent. And my kids are like, yeah, let's go splash in the water. Yeah, let's go play with the cars that go down the, like they like the things where they get to put together the car, make the car move. They have that control. And so we're trying to build our exhibits. We are building our exhibits around that. And then the Natural History Museum, I don't know if you've ever been in they call it their backyard.
Yep,
So it's kind of behind the monarch zone, and they have their raptors, and every once in a while you'll get to walk, by an owl and that sort of thing. But that space was just beautiful. I got to do a little informational interview with the gal who put together that space and was like, this is what we need. We need outdoor classrooms. We're doing it. And she was just phenomenal in making that happen. And that's where my family goes when we go to the museum. The museum's great. We go through all the exhibits, but we camp out at the place with the river and the water and the boats and the mud and the, just the things that, again, kids can manipulate. It's tangible. They are learning by doing. My background's in experiential education and outdoor education, and so I do that with adults a lot, and I know how important it is for all of us, but for kids it's not important, it's essential. They have to learn by doing.
That is a good way to say it. So it sounds like you, being a mom, and your educational background, and you're homeschooling your kids, and all that, first of all, your kids are very lucky, and second, you're seeing all that right up close and personal. Well, what a blessing to have you leading the charge.
Yeah. Well, I feel very honored to be involved in this and to be the mom, of these boys, and just watching them. Like, I thought I'd be able to kind of control who my kids were. No, they came that way. I am a steward. I am a steward of who they are. And it's so interesting seeing that. But something that really made me want to open this museum is, it's great. I'm a great mom to 3 great boys, great husband, great life. We live in a great place. I mean, gosh, the valley couldn't be prettier. Well, Santa Barbara's beautiful too. But we just couldn't be in a better location. But I have the time to take my kids hiking. I have the money to pay for the gas to get there, right?
Yes.
I have the husband who's this wonderful partner who's taking the kids so I can research things and get us to the fun places. I have all those advantages, but everyone doesn't, right? So it's great that I'm able to give this carefully curated, beautiful childhood and hold their wonder, and create space for that. But like, what about all the other kids? And so just looking at my background again, working at Boys and Girls Clubs, and UC San Diego, working with these programs that are really all about equal access and accessibility, right? We want to make this thing that so many parents are already doing, taking their kids outdoors and exploring. And there's all kinds of schools in Santa Barbara that are doing forest schools and outdoor schools, and that's great, but let's make it accessible. And one way to make it accessible is having a site. A site that's easy to get to, centrally located. Nobody has to have special equipment, they can just show up and play, and their parents, almost more importantly, can just show up and sit, right? While the kids play, and everything's at their fingertips. So we want ease of access.
Ashley, what an inspiring story. What an inspiring person you are.
Thank you.
I can hardly wait to go see it myself.
I can't wait for you to come play.
Oh gosh. Well, thanks for being with us today, and thanks for leading the charge on this important work.
Thank you, Cynder. We're really excited to open our doors.
And thank you for being with us on 805 Focus, and we'll see you next time.